Good morning. Good morning. Let's talk about Exodus Summit. Let's talk about what happens when 1,600 Black women get together and spend focused time on location freedom, financial freedom, time freedom. You'll hear probably today Tabitha Brown added on another freedom. What happens when Black women take time committed to the things that we want for ourselves, for our future? And not what we should be doing for others, right? Not the grinding and the struggling, right? When we start talking about the freedom, what happens when we spend that time together? We're going to have some women who attended Exodus Summit 2023 jump into the chat today or jump on the screen today and share their Exodus Summit experiences. I'm excited to hear what it was like for them, and I'll be sharing what it was like for me. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Stephanie Perry. I'm a house sitter. I'm the creator of House Sitter School and the co-creator of Exodus Summit. And I help Black women take a sabbatical or a career break, move abroad, bop around as a nomad, retire early, whatever, get free. If these things sound good to you, please make sure that you subscribe to this YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button, please. I'm going to wait for you to do that. Thank you. And then turn on notifications, ring that notification bell, and you'll be notified when I go live or when I post a new video. Welcome, welcome. Hello, Deborah Austin. Good morning, SLS Forever. Good morning, Cindy. Good morning, Happy Nurse Patty and Nini for Real 802, LA Teacher One, Tanya Bibb and Janella and Monica. Hi, friends. I have a special guest already ready to join us, so I'm going to add her on the screen in just a second. If you're part of my Patreon community, I want this in the middle. If you're part of my Patreon community and you attended Exodus Summit 2023, you should have a link in your inbox. Go to your email. I sent out an email for you to join this live stream to tell us what Exodus Summit was like for you, to share your experiences. All right, so that's who we'll be talking to today. Hi, Mom. Good morning. I'm in Panama. I'm in Panama City, Panama, in my beautiful hotel suite. It's beautiful. And so I'm on my post Exodus Summit vacation. I need a vacation every year after the summit. We're going to find out what y'all need. Let's find out what Exodus Summit was like for you guys. Let's see. Hey, Pearl.
Hey,
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Wonderful.
I
Introduce
can't get
yourself to
my
everyone. I'm going to play around with the screen for just a second. Introduce yourself to everybody.
Okay, my name is Pearl. This is my third or fourth year at Exodus Summit. The first year I got a weekend pass. Every year after that, I did full access
Yeah.
because the speakers are wonderful. I, you know, I'm not leaving yet,
Okay.
maybe next election,
Okay.
but I loved it. And Tabitha Brown was worth the all access pass.
Yeah.
I almost cried.
Almost.
Oh, it was it was the best.
Yeah. So
Had to
if
live through that time.
go ahead, go ahead.
No,
Okay. Yeah. So some of you don't know. Let me move over a little bit. Some of you don't know. Tabitha Brown was our final keynote speaker. We had keynote speakers Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday. No, Saturday night, Sunday night, and Monday night. And Tabitha Brown was our final keynote speaker. And she came in and talked about we Rashida and I got to interview her, which was seemed scary, but once we got started, it was really easy. And we got to talk with her about her vision for her life and how she stays on track and how she makes decisions based on the bigger picture for herself and the clarity and all of that. What made you cry? What made you almost cry about talking with Tabitha?
the positivity, the way that she knows herself and she knows she's been through all these things and she's still, she could be bitter, but she's not, you
Yeah.
know? And when people say things about her, somebody made a comment about when she allowed Chance to retire from the LAPD, and she was like, he supported me all these years, and it's my pleasure to do this for him so he can do what he wants
Yeah.
now. So it was like, you go, girl.
Yes.
You live your life.
That's right. We got to talk with her about, so Rashida and I had our questions, and then the community had your questions. Excuse me. And Rashida and I got to talk with her about being a public figure, being a person out in the world who is sharing her life and her family openly, and what that's like, and what she does and doesn't do to keep everyone, to protect, excuse me, to keep everybody, to protect everyone's like privacy, their safety, their all of that. So we had a nice chance to talk about her family a little bit too. Yeah, she was delightful, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was. All the speakers were great, but she gave me hope for the future.
Okay.
You know, and
What?
it's really hard to explain how that is. But when it ended, it was like I'm not ready yet.
Yeah.
And when y'all tried to give her an out because you were going long, she was like, "I'm good. We can continue to do this."
Uh-huh.
And I was like, "That's the kind of person that I want to be."
Yes. She was kind and generous. Pardon me, I'm sorry. She was
You
kind
need
and
some water.
generous, and I have a little water. She was kind and generous, and we told her that you can feel some people you can feel their sincere care for Black women, and she's one of those people. There's no question that she sincerely cares for and loves Black women and wants the best for us. So it was wonderful to have her close out close out the summit this year.
It was. It
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
It
So
was.
what are you working towards, Pearl, that we can be in agreement with you on?
Well, I need to declutter because I have boxes that I have traveled around with for 15 years, and they're in my garage. I never paid for storage, but I really need to release them to the world because I want to go. America makes me sad sometimes. Um, because America used to be at least on the face be nice to each other, and they don't do that anymore. America is just sometimes it. I told my sister the other day, for me, every Black person in America needs a passport because you never know when you may need to go. Okay? Don't be waiting around till you can't go because that happened to people, in the past who thought this couldn't happen, this couldn't be. Well, the election a couple of years ago proved that that's not true. So, you know, yeah. So I got my passport. I do some traveling, and but I really think I want to live someplace else. And I'm old. I'm in my 70s, so I need to do it now, or my
Yeah.
time may pass when I can't walk cobbled streets. So
Right. Okay. Yeah. Some places are not designed for people, a whole lot older than that. So you said you need to declutter. Did you watch our decluttering session with Kristen Ivy during the summit? That we
I
haven't,
did.
yeah. Did she help you work through like a process that you could use to do some
Yes,
decluttering?
I guess my problem, of course, is that I am stopped in my too muchness,
Uh-huh.
and so I need to work past that, to get started. Because I look at the boxes, and there is some stuff in there that I want. I have some crystal vases that people have given me and that kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
But a lot of the stuff I haven't used since I moved from California to Texas.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so Kristen Ivy is a Marie Kondo certified decluttering expert, and she walked us through the process that we can use. So maybe work alongside her. Like, she broke down different categories and the way that we declutter those categories of things to help us make some progress so that we don't let our stuff hold us back from the life that we want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That and people's expectations.
Right. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So is there anything else you want to tell us about the summit? We're,
No,
I'm
I think that's it.
I'm so glad that you
It was wonderful.
good, good. I'm so glad you came and that you enjoyed it and enough to want to come on the channel and talk about it. Did you get to go into a salon to meet some other women, the small groups?
I I don't think I did.
You didn't do that.
I think I went to one, but I got
Okay.
a oh, I went to one. I did, but I
Okay.
don't remember what.
Okay, that's all right. That's all right. So, yeah, as an alum, as a person who's already been an alumni of Exodus Summit, I'm so glad that you came back again this year. And I want to thank you
Indeed.
sincerely for being a member of my Patreon community. Our Patreon community is putting together money to send Black women on sabbatical. Thank you for being a member, a supporter. You have contributed to sending Maisha Francis to Rwanda and the next, whoever's next. So thank you sincerely. And sending, I think the Patreon money is also the money that sent Lisa to the Reclaim the Retreat
Yeah.
in El Salvador last year. So the Patreon community is going strong. I sincerely appreciate you for being part of that and helping us collectively give to Black women. So thank you, Pearl. I appreciate you. It's so nice to see you.
You too.
Thank
Have a
you.
great vacation.
Thanks. Have a wonderful day.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, so we have Janella in the chat. I'm going to bring Janella on in the green room. I'm going to bring Janella on in just a second. But if you joined me a little bit late, the women who are part of my Patreon community and who attended Exodus Summit this year are coming on just to share their experiences with Exodus Summit. If you are one of those women who are in my Patreon and attended the summit, check your inbox for a link, which I have given you. I'm going to do one more thing. I'm in my hotel suite. I got to close the bathroom door because of the echo. I hear an echo. Okay, let's see if that helps with the sound a little bit. And we'll go ahead and bring Janella on. Hi, Janella. Hi, friend. I can't hear you. Let's see if it's me or you. Let's see. Do you have a mute button or do you have something plugged in that's okay?
I unmuted my computer.
Hi, I can hear you. How are you?
Mhm. I'm well. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. So nice to see you. It's been a minute since we saw each other in Delaware at
That
the.
yes,
Okay, so you went to Exodus Summit this year. How was it?
it was amazing. I had a wonderful time. This is my fourth year,
Yes.
so I've been to every summit.
Janelle is one of my earliest YouTube subscribers, right? One of the first people who's done anything, right? Everything that Rashida and I individually and separately have hosted, Janella is there. So tell us,
Yes,
so the summit this year, the theme was location freedom, financial freedom, and time freedom. Why were you so interested in coming this year if you've already been before? Why did you repeat?
because I'm ready for my freedom. I've been planning, and with COVID, it's now time for me to break.
Yeah.
So I'm ready and looking forward to my break.
Good. Okay, so this is the internet. Do you want to share anything, any information about what your plan is?
Well, my house is on the market, so
Oh,
today I have an open house. So after this, I gotta finish getting ready for my open house.
oh, that's so exciting, Janella. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh,
I'm ready. I've been ready. I've been saving. I've been planning. It's
yes.
just now things are coming into
Oh,
place, and so I'm ready.
oh, I'm so excited for you.
You
Okay,
excited?
house is on the market, and then is Portugal still the place?
No, I'm just gonna bop for now.
Okay,
I'm
okay,
gonna
good.
bop. First, I'm gonna start in maybe I want to go to the Australian Open, so
Oh,
that's
okay, girl.
so
Okay.
I hope to be in Australian Open. So yes,
When is that?
August. I'm sorry, January.
Ah.
So I probably won't come to the meetup
Yes.
because I'll be in Australia.
Oh, that's so wonderful. And you have house sat, right? No,
No, I didn't. I
no.
signed up for house of the school, went through everything, but I never. Pandemic happened. I mean, it was immediately after the pandemic happened and
Yeah.
things shut down. And I didn't do house of the. Yes.
Okay, so if you're interested, okay, this is an if. Australia is a wonderful place to house sit, and January is their summertime, is when they're out traveling. So if you wanted to be there longer or save some money while you're there or whatever, house sitting is available to you. And you,
Oh,
Australia is a place, I don't know what cities the Australia Open is in. I'm assuming it's like Sydney and Melbourne.
no,
Melbourne,
yes.
okay. Those are cities where you can find house sits, and even you could find house sits even if you haven't gotten a review already. They're that popular down
Oh,
there.
okay.
Yeah. So if you have time to house sit in your area, I was going to announce where you live. If you have time to house sit in your area now, you could. But if you
Okay.
don't, you could still get house sits down there if that's a thing that you're interested in. Australia's hot in January, and you need a pool. Okay. We need a swimming pool, Janella.
Okay. And I can swim, so that works for sure.
We need it. Even those who can't swim need a swimming pool in Australia. Okay, in January,
Okay.
you need it. You need to be in the water. Okay.
All
Oh,
right.
that's amazing. I'm so glad. Listen, Janella. So Janella's been working on this since 2020, and things just, sometimes things take a different route than you expect. I'm really glad. Okay, so how was the summit? Let's talk about the summit.
The summit was amazing, eye opening, and I even had a friend to join. And so I've been, of course, sharing it with my friends. I've been pushing the exit the summit, and now I have a friend. Her mom told her, was like, "Wait a minute, you want to quit your job and do what?" So the day after the summit, she took off work,
Oh,
and her
good.
mom was like, "Oh, the summit got you taking off the day after work, the day after the holiday."
That's right.
But
That's
it's been amazing. For me, every year again, it just helps me. I receive additional information that I probably wouldn't have received or didn't know, and just helps me to prepare for when it's time for me to go out. So
fantastic. Do
yeah.
you have a session that stood out to you that that
Yes, the what stood out more for me was the medical,
Oh,
because you don't.
right.
Yeah, I mean that was very informative, because things happen, and
Hmm.
I just feel as if that would just help me to be more prepared in the event that something was to happen.
Good. That's
I like
right.
to prepare.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, it can be being afraid of some sort of emergency abroad can be really scary, but the women who had situations, not all emergencies, right? Samira delivered her twins in Mexico, but women who
Yeah,
have accessed healthcare and things that can be very scary, and them saying I had a good experience, or even I had a better experience than I would have had in the U.S.
yeah,
It can be comforting, right? Can be helpful.
yes.
Yeah. All
Yeah,
right. Did
that's
you
good.
get?
The other one that stood out was Rashida's session stood out. That was pretty good. I actually watched the replay, like not last night, the night before last. So I thought that was pretty good as well.
Good. The session on Rashida did too. The session on the money, expat money problems.
Expect money, exactly. Yes.
Yes.
That, of course, I like information and I like to be informed. So as much information as I can have,
Uh-huh.
bring it on.
Yeah. Rashida's session was on panic and poor planning.
Full plan,
Expat
yes.
moves that something money something money problems that send expats packing. So things that you can do in advance to prepare for, or sometimes just things that you should expect when you don't expect the fluctuation in the currency, for example. It can really cause you to panic and give up instead of just riding things out. So yeah, that was a really super informative session. I'm right behind you. So you're about to start bopping. I'm about to stop bopping and stick someplace for a little while. And
Hmm.
that was really helpful. There was a lot of stuff that Rashida talked about, and I was like, "Oh, I'm not playing. I have not prepared for this. I didn't plan that." So yeah, that was a wonderful session.
Absolutely.
Uh huh. Did you get to go to one of the salons and meet some people?
Yes, I did. I actually went to the salon on the first day, and then I went on the second day. So we have there was a group that was created for the slow travel group.
Good.
So I went to that one as well, and then I also went to, was it? I think it was a house sitting, but
Okay.
by the time I joined, it was over. So I ended up just going back to the slow travel group as well. So
Okay.
yes,
Good. My secret hope for the slow travel group is that y'all stick together, even if you have to break up into smaller groups, because there was a lot of women. There was 80 women in there at one point, right?
yes, it was
Okay.
huge.
My hope is that some of y'all will do some slow travel together, even if it's not like together. It's just like, I'm going to this place next. Who's going to join me there? But Yeah, that's what I hope, that y'all just see the world together, as much of it as you want.
Information has been already shared in the group me, so that's good. I mean, people have already talked, exchanged information, so
Good.
that's good.
Good. I love it. I love it. I love the idea of traveling together, of sharing resources and splitting expenses. I love it. I love it. I love it. Good. I'm glad to hear that y'all are finding a way to stay in community. Every year at the summit, some women form like accountability partnerships, whether it's with
Yes.
one woman or a dozen, that y'all form accountability partners as a way to keep making progress towards the thing that you want. So I'm glad that that happened this year too.
Yes.
Good. Oh, I'm so glad. So, Janella, as a person who has attended the summit every year, right? Can you tell us, was this, how good was this? I'm looking for, how good was this summit compared to past years?
This summit was a 10 out of 10. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. Last year was a 10 out of 10. I think last year was more information gathering, the
Yes.
financial pieces. So that was helpful for me. But this one provided a little bit, what is it? The vibe was good. I think the vibe for the women and the energy that the women brought made more of a difference this year than the previous years.
I think so too. I think so too. Yeah,
Yeah.
even Rashida said after the summit, she was like, the talk about it is different, right?
Exactly.
Last year it was, this was helpful, I'm going to make some money, or some women, I've already talked about getting a pay raise, or I've already found a remote job, right? But this year it was like, I'm different. You've done something for me. I've changed. So yeah, I think this was a different vibe. It was a wonderful vibe though. The women who attended this summit this year were ready and on it and wonderful and patient, because we had some major technical problems.
Right.
That first night, the system we were using had crashed.
Yes.
And so it's time to start the first session on the first night, and y'all are getting error messages, and we had to go out and send a YouTube link. It was not smooth. And y'all were like, okay, let me click this
Exactly.
link. You sent an email,
I
let me
know.
click the
So
link in
I
the
already
email.
knew. I already knew. So it was okay for me. It was okay for me.
Yeah. Yeah. So that helped to that helped to really keep the tone where we wanted it, because things could have just devolved into chaos. But the attendees were so wonderful that it helped to give it the vibe that we were hoping for, and beyond and beyond.
And the DMV group also has a WhatsApp group, and people were chatting, and they're like, "Wait a minute, they're coming. It's okay." Helping to keep the energy going and flowing. So it also helped as well.
Yes, thank y'all for that. Yeah, so the people who are in Exodus Summit in the Facebook community have, like, I don't want to call them subgroups, but they have contact meetups. I guess they're meetup groups. And so y'all can stay in contact with each other. And the new people, you can like give a little reassurance to the new people. It's okay.
Yeah,
It's going to be okay.
absolutely.
I'm glad. I'm glad. Oh, Janella, I'm so excited about your house and your open house. I'm so
Thank you.
glad. Listen, we've been working on this. We've been,
You've been working, but God,
oh,
that's all
yes,
because I'm
yeah,
ready.
good, fantastic. Do you have help getting the house ready, or is that all on you?
Oh, it's all on me. It's it's
Oh,
it's empty for the most part. I just have
okay,
to like this is my office, so it's like bare in here. So
okay.
I just have to clean up the stuff from my office so when people come, I'm done. It's just what 10-15 minutes and I'll be out the door.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, well, best of luck on the open house. I hope you get
Thank
everything
you.
that you're asking for and more. Uh,
Listen, even if I gotta lower my price to get up out of here, I'm out of here. I'm ready to go.
that's right. I
Oh,
understand that. I understand that. Yeah. Okay. So inside the group or here in the chat on just on a regular Saturday, keep us updated on Australia. Okay. Keep us
I'm
updated.
definitely will. I've already made contact with Deborah down there who's house sitting, so
Oh,
she's al- she's
she's
still
still
there.
there.
Yes, she's gonna be there probably for a while, so that's perfect for me.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, she's been there for quite a long time.
yes.
Oh, good. Okay, wonderful, wonderful. And then we have Lynn who lives in New Zealand, which is not close but not far. And then maybe one day, maybe you'll still be there when I try to get to Fiji, which is also not close
Okay.
but far. Okay.
Let me know. I'll meet you there.
Okay, okay. Yes, 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 yes.
Okay.
Okay. So
All right.
wonderful to talk with you, Janella. And again, thank you so much for being a part of my Patreon community. You
Thank
know
you.
what what we do. We put the money together, we give the money to Black women so Black women can do their thing, can be on a sabbatical, be on a retreat. Thank you. I really sincerely appreciate you being a part of the Patreon community and giving in that way, even while you're working on your own thing. I
Yeah.
appreciate you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you for all that you do. Blessings on blessings.
Blessings on blessings to all of us. Thank you, Janella.
All right. Have a good one.
You too. Best of luck on the open house.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye. Okay, friends, I didn't have Janelle introduce herself. I'm sorry. We don't have to do, this is a woman who needs no introduction. Hello, Monica. I think you're my most,
Hello, good
I
morning.
think you've been on my channel more than Rashida. I think you're my most frequent guest. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful, wonderful.
Introduce yourselves to those of you to everyone who has not yet heard from you.
My name, you'll see me as Monica Adelina. This was my third Exodus Summit. Um, at first I said, Monica, do you really need to do this? And of course, out of support, I said, yes, you do. You're going to learn something, girl. You're 70 plus, but you're going to learn something. And Rose, I did, Stephanie, I did. So the first time, I think it was the second Exodus, that's when I started preparing to bop around in Mexico. And I did get my residency,
Yes.
permanent residency. So I've been in Mazatlan. It'll be a year in December.
Yes. One
And I'm
year.
still house sitting.
Okay, okay, I was going to ask you that. Good. Okay, so you're already a resident. So we're talking location freedom, time freedom, financial freedom. You're already retired, you're already a resident of Mexico, but still you came to the summit because you wanted to be there.
I learned, I learned more. Unfortunately, my mother is in hospice right now in
Oh,
the U.S. in California,
okay.
but this summit, especially the be still and know. I'm looking at my notes,
Yeah.
bopping around solo. That there were some tips in there I really did need. Um, it helped me to grow in being more for me. All my life I'm the oldest
Okay.
of 8 kids, so consequently during this time I'm realizing some things that I'm finally grown to, and with counseling in the past it's really helped me. So the
Okay.
ladies that spoke about being true to yourself, the ladies that talked about putting yourself first in detail,
Mhm.
that helped me so much because my eyes are being opened
Yeah.
to how much I've given. And now it's time to even add more to my living.
Yes.
It's in a different way. And it was just beautiful. I got what I needed and more.
Good. I'm writing that down. Yeah, add more to your living, right? We don't want to just be making it, right? We don't
No.
want to just
Mm-mm.
get by. We want to, yeah, add more, add more. Oh, that's wonderful. I'm writing that down. That's wonderful. All right, so
And
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
I was,
I just wanted to add, like your mother, I believe in the word. And one thing that came across while I was listening let me look at my notes. Let me look at my notes. Girl, I got pages,
I
and
know.
I was wondering what I was going to get out of it. Uh, the fact that in becoming more of yourself and having ways to be grateful, it was, I was impacted by a verse, Psalms 92, bear with me,
Yes.
92:14. Even in old age, they will still be thriving.
Ah,
They will remain vigorous and fresh, fresh as the green pastures. Girl,
girl.
I started shouting while I was listening
Yes.
to one of the ladies. I was shouting. I said, "Thank you for confirmation."
Yes. That's right. That's right. Still thriving. That's right.
Still thriving.
Yes. Oh, I'm so okay. So I'm so glad. Listen, we had quite a few women attend the summit this year who were already out living their thing, right? Already out abroad, already bopping around. So I'm so happy to hear that it still gave to you. It's still
Yes, it did.
good.
I'll be going to Thailand in November, Greece in May, and bopping around Mexico during the hot months of Mazatlan in 2024. Not to mention, of course, getting back to California and meeting up with the family.
Okay. Uh, All right, Thailand in November, Greece in May. Okay, so Thailand is coming up very soon. Do
Yes.
you have you connected with some other Exodus Summit women who either are there or are going to be around?
Well, this time I'm going with my youngest sister and her family
Oh,
for her 60th birthday.
okay,
So it's more of a family thing. And
okay.
I'm really kind of glad because I don't speak Thai. So, hey, I need to be somewhere I'm still kind of skittish about being in countries that have, is not Spanish or English,
Mm, okay.
but I'm still going to try it by myself one
You'll,
day.
yeah, you can, yes, you'll see. Once you get to Thailand, you'll see that you were never going to be able to, you were never going to be able to read Thai or speak Thai in a
Mm-mm.
helpful way, but you still are going to be able to make it. You're still going to be able to buy food, eat food,
Oh,
take
and I'm looking
tours.
forward to that.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, you're going to be so full. All right, that food. Ooh, yes, right, and
Stephanie, I want to
no problems.
say to the young ladies, you all are doing beautifully starting out young. And as long as I'm alive, I'm going to be pushing for you
Thank you.
and for the channel. You all are just wonderful. And any way I support you all is just a gift to do so.
Thank you so much. Thank you. We appreciate you. So and Monica is calling. I think were you calling me a young lady at 49? I appreciate. I received that.
I
Thank
sure
you.
was.
I received that. Thank you kindly. Yes, it's wonderful to have women from different generations in this community. Y'all, so Monica, if you remember watching the over 60 video that I did, where Black women over 60 gave me life advice. You remember Monica. So
Yeah.
you teach us, we share with you, even the younger girls share with us, share with everybody. It's wonderful to have a place where there are women of different generations coming in and sharing and giving and in community, not just about the giving, but also just about the being in community with one another. Dr. Joy's
Yeah.
session on sisterhood was really helpful to me, thinking about how we not only have sisterhood between Dr. Joy and Octavia Rahim. I've been thinking a lot about not only how we have sisterhood, but how we use it in our lives. Put it to use, right?
Yes.
It's one thing to
Yes.
have people who are around, but it's another thing to lean on them sometimes. Let them support you. Let them lift you up when you need it.
That's right.
That's what we're here for. That's how we put these things to action. So I really appreciated those sessions, and I'm so glad to have you as a part of our sisterhood, of our community.
Thank you. It's a joy. It's a joy. It's a mission. It's a lot of love. A
Yes.
lot of love.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, wonderful. Enjoy your trips. Keep us posted. And just yeah, I
Well,
want to in Thailand. Okay, so it's going to sound strange, but the thing I miss about Thailand is the soup, that hot and sour soup, which is called it's going to come to me later in the video. The hot and sour soup, I miss it. You cannot get that version of it out of Thailand, right? Anybody in Thailand makes it and it's delicious. That and mango sticky rice, it's hard. There's hit or miss when you leave Thailand.
mango sticky rice.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm looking for the authenticity.
Yes, that's right. You're going to get it. You're going to get it. Authenticity and the roof of your mouth burnt off.
Oh no, oh no.
No, that is when they say hot, they mean hot. Okay, when they say there's
Yes.
heat, they mean the heat. Yeah. Have a wonderful time, Monica. Thank you so much. Hi, I think I'm still on the same live, and I just paused for a while. I hope it's not a whole new link. Let's see. Let's see. Can you see me? Let's see what happened. Let's see. Hopefully, it's not a whole new link like the last time I was in a hotel. Hopefully, it's the same link. Mhm. Thank you, New Yorkina, for you. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. All right. So hotels, hotels keep logging you out over. I don't know why they do that. Okay. Hospitality. And my thing takes a long time to reconnect. And so then it'll be like, oh no, we got to end this. Ecamm Live is like, we got to end this. But we don't have to end it. We can stick around. We stick around. Okay. All right, so if you attended Exodus Summit 2023 and you're part of my Patreon community, you have received an email with the link. You probably received 2 or 3 emails with the link to join me here on Ecamm Live as a guest if you want to talk about Exodus Summit. But while we're waiting for someone else, let me tell you about my experience. This is also my 4th year attending and hosting Exodus Summit 2020. That's my 4th year attending and hosting Exodus Summit. Every year there's a big surprise, right? Some years it's just like the first year. One of the things that surprised me was how the number of women who signed up, first of all, but also because we didn't have any platform. Rashida and I were just 2 women who, had little small YouTube channels, and so the first year, how many women signed up, but also the way the speakers came in and gave and gave and gave really surprised me because we didn't offer to pay. We ended up paying them in the end when we made a little money. But before that, we didn't offer to pay them. And so it surprised me how giving the speakers were. Going into year 2, then, so I knew the speakers were going to be giving, and the speakers were women inside of our community. But the accountability groups that grew out of the summit surprised me. It surprised me the way that y'all got together and were like, we want to keep it going, right? Same year 3, also year 2, the accountability groups are based around where in the world you wanted to go, right? There was like a Playa del Carmen accountability group, a Mexico City accountability group. I think all of Portugal. I don't know if it was just Lisbon, but there was definitely a Portugal accountability group, right? So it surprised me and Rashida how those groups formed and how much progress you made, because women in those groups had to close the groups down because everybody had moved, right? This year, I think what surprised me about Exodus Summit 2023 was that you, friends, came in and let our speakers heal you or start some healing in you. You didn't come here just like, tell me about something concrete, right? It wasn't just like, what is the concrete thing that I can learn from the summit? It was also, now, how do I take all of this in? What do I need to be whole or healing? What do I need to be free? And how do I let that work in me during this summit and beyond? I don't know if I'm being clear about this, but it was so every year we've had really concrete sessions. But this year, friends, even though we did have concrete sessions, we had decluttering, we had healthcare, we had multiple money sessions, we had negotiation, salary negotiation, and remote work search sessions. The feedback that you're giving inside of the Facebook community is about the freedom, about the healing, right? The big picture about who am I? Opening the aperture. We came away with a bunch of lingo that a lot of people are not going to understand if they didn't come to the summit. But the way that you let this summit open the aperture on your vision, on your lives, I think that's what surprised me. That's what's so different. That's the way. I do want you to get a remote job if you want a job. I want you to get a remote job. I want you to find a job that doesn't care where you are in the world, right? I do want you to get the health insurance and the health care that you need access to. But even more than that, I want you free. I want you to feel free and live free. And that is what you are coming away with this summit. I can't keep reading. Every time I go into the Facebook group to read someone's post, I gotta stop. Listen, I can't spend my whole vacation crying. I cannot. cannot cry all vacation. Listen, this is my first time in Panama. I got to be able to enjoy Panama and not be. But I do actually enjoy crying. Crying is the thing that I do that is not like upsetting to me. But it's very emotional for me and for Rashida to be able to see what you let this summit and these sessions do. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being so open. Thank you for being so giving and sharing. And thank you for taking it for yourself, taking this in, for letting it soak in, for letting it sink in, for letting it go to work inside of you. Yeah, that is the thing that is that the newest surprise for me this year, right? Because y'all could be like, oh yeah, while Kristen was talking, I organized the 4 different categories of decluttering that I need to do, and I made a schedule, right? Which is good. That's why we brought her, right? Or you could be like, yeah, I Googled the insurance. I took the insurance thing. I went to the insurance providing platform and I got a couple quotes. Good. That's what we want. Okay, we talked healthcare because we want you to get your insurance situated. Okay, but the feedback that you're giving us is about your liberation, about your freedom, about your healing. That's worth it. That makes it worth it, right? This is not an easy thing. I take some of the easiest tasks in the summit. Having a business partner who knows how to read and draw up contracts is a big relief to me because that's something I don't even touch. I don't touch, right? But you can imagine when you look at our speakers' names, you can imagine the work that went into planning a summit like this. You can imagine that the effort, the stress of planning a summit about ease. You can imagine, but it makes it worth it. When you walk away talking the way that you're talking, it's worth it. This is not a 2-week change, right? This is not something that you're going to carry with you for the weekend and then drop it, for 2 weeks and then drop it. You're changed. We're changed. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So as far as I know, we're going to do it again because it's working. It's doing what we wanted to do. Yes. JW was a powerful shift within me. I don't have the words to express to you how that feels, right? I don't know how to tell you how that feels. All I can say is I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm glad you were there. I'm glad you received what was happening. I'm glad you received it from every single speaker. And I'm glad that you have formed community with other women inside of the Exodus Summit world. It was a shift within me too, right? Like some of these speakers, I asked them to come, right? I already knew what they had to say because I invited them, right? Some of these speakers were on my personal list because I already knew what they were going to say, and even still, even some of them I've already learned from on my own, but even still, what a wonderful change that has come over me, us, this community because of Exodus Summit 2023. If you missed it, you can't recreate last weekend, but you can get close. Okay, so get your replay ticket at exodussummit.com. Schedule off time. Watch these sessions knowing that you're still in community with those of us who attended. You're still in community with us. And whenever you're watching sessions, somebody's watching it with you. Somebody's in community with you. Watch your sessions, learn from the speakers, take notes, and implement what the speakers are teaching. Go ahead and do it. Join in. You see the women in this chat talking about what these sessions have done for them. Get yours. Get yours. Blue Butterfly Wellness, Truth, Paradigms Are Shifting, including mine, looking at life through new lenses, right? Black Women Build Wealth. I've officially started my Freedom Walk, Tabitha Brown session about her Freedom Walk, right? Lori, this summit was my first one, and it absolutely changed my mindset. I realized I need to adopt a mindset of rest and ease and put myself first. There's a lot of mental freedom I must adopt. The summit speakers seriously want you to watch their sessions again and again, right? They design, you can see the way that they design these sessions. Some of these sessions, I mean, the first watching is it's a lot. Some of the sessions, right? Coach Tish's session, you need to watch her session a few times. So it's go back and watch them again, and then watch them again. Implement, watch them again. Also, the speakers have books out, and everyone has gotten an email from us this morning about the Exodus Summit reading list. So if you need to go deeper with that speaker, the book is one way you can do that. Some of the speakers offer coaching, some of the speakers offer something, either individual coaching or group coaching or retreats, right? But a book is a wonderful way to start. Read the book, share the book. They would appreciate that. They would appreciate that a lot. But then if you need to go deeper with some speakers, go ahead and do it. Yeah, yes. Yeah, that is my biggest surprise from the summit. My biggest individual takeaway was, well, I guess it's hard to say the biggest, but the first thing that I've acted on is Octavia Rahim's session. Octavia Rahim came in and did a rest session with us where she taught us how to develop our own rest practice, and then we implemented some rest practices right then and there. So that's been the first session. As a person who sleeps well and sleeps a lot and takes naps, I don't know that I had real rest practices, right? Either I can do nothing and I have no problem doing nothing, but I don't know that I was like really resting like it was important. I rest like it's easy, right? I've been a person who rests like it's easy. I can wake up, go back to sleep, right? Take a nap in the middle of the day, but not like this is to fulfill, to rejuvenate me, to feed me, to treat myself with loving kindness. I don't know that I've been a person who rests in order to treat myself kindly. Part of my kindness practice, I think, is how I would, for me, how it makes sense to me. And so I've started some things already. She asked us to make a list. I still have not sat down and made a comprehensive list of the things that rejuvenate or restore me. That's the word she used, restore. I haven't made a comprehensive list of the things that restore me, but I made a short list on the plane of a few things that restore me, and I've done one of them every day since her session. That's the first thing that I've been able to implement. Rashida's session was much more concrete. Rashida's session on expat, the panic and poor planning, expat money problems that send them packing. That's the session I need to go over with notebook, with some bank statements, with right. Like I need to prepare myself for life in Costa Rica. Seriously, it's like seriously. I was like, oh, she was going through the items, and I was like, I haven't done this. I haven't done that. I don't know this. Right? So that's a session I need to take my time with. But Octavia Rahim session is a session I've already started working on. Also, Tish's and Dr. Joy's. So to me, Coach Tish and Dr. Joy's session went together really well. Coach Tish talked about the flow, the things that you need. Coach Tish is I'm going to call her an imposter syndrome coach. Although she has clearly told me that's not her. That's not the label she would put on herself. Okay. But that's an abbreviated way, just like you would call me Stephanie the house sitter. Okay. It's an abbreviated way to explain what she does. And so I do need to go back over her session. I had to have one ear on, and I had to be doing some work during her session. I had to do some multitasking, which I'm not good at. And I don't think any of us are. So I need to go back over her session. But what jumped out from what I could hear from her session was that we need friends to do our thing. I know it sounds funny that I would say that and that would jump out at me, but it's because I have talked community and taught community and shared community and created community and dived into community, but I haven't used community. Coach Tish's and Dr. Joy's session on sisterhood showed me that I'm not using it to fill my needs, right? For example, I left Costa Rica to fly to Panama for my 9-day vacation. And I was packing up all of the stuff that I took with me to Costa Rica, and I was about to bring it to Panama, even though I don't need all that stuff. I'm sitting in a hotel room. I got a carry-on and a backpack. That's all I need. I also have a big suitcase and a bag of stuff that didn't even fit in the suitcase anymore. I've only been in Costa Rica for like 3 or 4 weeks, and already my stuff has just doubled in size. And I was about to bring all of that with me. And then I was like, no, Stephanie, you're building community in Costa Rica. Use the community. I asked Kat, who's here with her mom and her daughter, there in Costa Rica, can I give you some of my stuff? Can I leave some things with you while I'm here? Right? That sounds really small and really not big, but that I am not that person. I've not been a person who's asked people to help me. Ever, as much as my mom has modeled it for me. My mom, in a good way, she's modeled that in a good way. But I get it from my dad, okay? I'm not a person who's asked people to help me. So sending Kat that message, let me tell you, I typed the message and then let it sit in WhatsApp and didn't press send. And then she texted me immediately. Like I texted it and put it in WhatsApp and looked at it and couldn't press the send button. And while I'm looking at the message, she WhatsApped me to ask me how I was doing after the summit. And I was like, okay, I got it. I got it. Talk to my community. So thank you, Kat, if y'all are watching. Thank you for holding on to my stuff, right? That is not new. That is new for me. That is not a normal thing that I would do. Normally, I would have brought all that stuff with me. I probably would have checked that other stuff that didn't fit in that suitcase. I would have checked the bag, checked an extra bag, because I get 2 check bags, right? Instead, use the community. You don't just hoard community members. Exodus Summit is 12,000 strong. I should not be hoarding community members and not putting people, not, the word use can be misconstrued, right? But using them in a reciprocal way. I don't mean using them in a one-sided way, but use that community for your benefit and let them use you. I don't know. We need a better way, but community, okay? So there she is. Thank you, Kat. Seriously, I typed it, and then I'm just looking at my phone. And then I'm like, well, I could just buy another bag, and because I get 2 checked bags, boom, I get the notification right then and there on my phone when you were like, how was it? How you doing? Right? So that's the thing that Exodus Summit has done for me, right? Just those sessions, taking in what they said, taking in, not just being there, but using it. Use it. So wonderful. It was wonderful. Your testimonials and your information and your responses inside of the community are wonderful to read. So keep them coming inside of the Exodus Summit Facebook group, which is exodussummit.com/community. Keep them coming. We need them, okay? Because it really is hard work, and we really do. We need a little boost, okay? We tired. We tired. Poor Frances tried to take a vacation, and protesters drove her out. So now she got to go back home, right? Support. Yeah, so the first thing Octavia said, and one of the first things that I heard her say in her session was, feel how the chair supports you. I'm talking about that turned on a light for me. Feel how you are supported in your seat, or if you're sitting or if you're laying down. Feel how you are supported. I'm telling you, this is Kat from Rebloom Room. That changed something in me. That one of the first things she says, one of the first things Octavia Rahim said to us. Oh, I am supported. Might sound like nothing to you. To some of you, my revelation is nothing. Okay, right? But I received that. I received that. I need it. I need it. As a person who's building a life that's going to require a whole lot of community, a whole lot of support, I received that. And I'm putting it into practice today. So when you say that things changed for you, I get it. I believe it, because things changed for me. Yeah, that's a session I'll be watching many times. I meant to download it to my phone before I got to the airport and I didn't do it in time. So I didn't get to watch it on the plane. My plan was to watch it on the plane. But instead I just tried to remember what she said. And then I sat down and wrote down my list, a short version of my list. Right? Yeah, the I think kindness practices are a thing that I need to intentionally implement in my own life. And rest is one of those. Yeah. So I appreciate y'all for listening to me talk about my takeaways. And more importantly, I appreciate you sharing your takeaways. So, speaking of which, hi, Teresa. Let me get you on the screen. Hi, Teresa. You're on the internet.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing
I'm,
today?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Tell us,
Well, I
well,
have,
first introduce yourself, which I forgot to do with a couple of ladies. Introduce yourself.
hey, I'm Teresa. Okay, what else? I'm a member of Exodus, the Exodus Squad. This is
Yes.
my uh, third summit,
Good.
and I'm in your Patreon.
Yes.
And if
Thank you for
anyone is here from the accountability group, hey y'all, I know I haven't seen you before my vacation, but I'll be back.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes. So, how was the summit this year for you?
I loved it. And I'll say for me, I cried all day every day with every speaker.
Mhm.
So the week before the summit, I went on my annual birthday vacation with a couple of my friends. So it was very meditative for me.
Okay.
Usually in the month of September is when I start thinking about the year, what's going on. It's
Yeah.
my new year. So I
Yes.
was already in a space of just refresh mindset, nervous system, rejuvenation, all that stuff.
Uh-huh.
I came back from vacation, went to work Thursday, had the nerve to take off Friday and Monday for the summit. And so I was already in this space. So every single speaker, I was crying, but it was a good cry
Good.
because I felt like, something big is about to happen. I have my notes, so I'm going to tell you everything.
Okay.
Starting with Octavia.
Okay.
Uh, she said, arresting as a legacy builder. And I kind of jotted down these like statements, and I call them affirmations from each of the speakers that
Yeah.
I've kind of just been speaking into it each day. I've created my rest nest. I went out and bought some new blankets and pillows, and I have a rest nest right next to my bed. I mean, just I am still like coming down from it,
Yeah.
but enjoying it each day, like just starting it off in my devotion with some of these affirmations. Then going to Erica, what I took from her when she talked about those four lies is I
Mhm.
can't afford it. That's the lie. But then do your research.
That's right.
And then Rashida's message kind of tied into that. So that
Mhm.
was already in my spirit, like, girl, you've been lying to yourself. And so then with Rashida, when she talking about, okay, you have all this money in those investments, those 401ks, and
That's right.
but what if you don't live to use it? Baby, I started doing some research. I'm gonna have to get some of that because she right. I'm like,
That's right.
I can't plan for the future because I'm right surviving right now. I'm ready to live.
That's right.
So I love that from Rashida. And also Erica said that a sabbatical is a spiritual practice.
Yes.
And I was like, oh my gosh. It's like everything was so affirming and confirming. Like those thoughts and feelings I had, they gave me the language for it.
Uh-huh.
And so now I'm speaking that language. Um, when we move on to Lisa, Adventurous Midlifer, I love everything. I follow her all the time. Exodus Squad members who travel, and I follow them on Instagram. I always say I travel with them. So I
Uh,
travel with her already.
yes.
And she said, debunk the American exceptionalism. And like all
Lisa
of these statements just resonated in my spirit.
Lisa just started off her session and laid down the hammer. Okay.
She did.
She was just
All of it. Yes, I have all my notes here. I kid you not. Okay, moving to um, Kristen. the
Decluttering.
decluttering.
Uh-huh.
I'm a declutterer. Like I'm gonna throw some stuff away. Like
Okay.
I don't like clutter,
Uh-huh.
but what I didn't equate to that and align is that your nervous system is impacted by your clutter. Because I am well aware of some things that like just get my nervous system off balance, but I never align that with cluttering. I guess because I don't like clutter anyway. But when I think about it, that's probably why years ago I started decluttering because the older I get, stuff just impacts me. But I thought that was good to
Yes.
associate with the things around us and what do we have around us.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to Rachel. I love everything about it. I'm reading her book right now. But Rachel said, I will take my own heart.
Mhm.
Like, yes, I don't need your heart or somebody else's heart. I take mine
Mhm.
and I'll determine what it is, what I'm gonna take.
Yes.
So, and of course, Libria.
Yes.
What? Libria
Well,
is why I have a remote job now. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, do you need a job? Do you need to work?
Well, I do need a job for now.
Okay.
I have a remote job because of Libria in your prior
Yes.
summit, and
Yes.
now I need another remote job because they tripping,
Okay.
and I'm gonna take my own heart.
Yeah, that's right.
I be saying that in the morning in chat to other people. I'm gonna take my own heart. This ain't it. But I'm about to use her lazy apply AI.
Yes.
So I can't think of the other Exodus Squad member's name right now, but I follow her. She's in Guadalajara. She
Kira.
recently moved.
Kira.
Yes, and
No.
she was talking about how she used this. I'm like, okay, it's this weekend. It's on my to-do list.
Let's put a pin in this. If you don't know, Libria Jones is the remote work. She's the queen of finding remote work, okay? And Libria came in and did a session and introduced us to some AI tools that we can use to help us uh, supercharge our remote work search process.
Hmm.
Kira, who already left a job and moved to Guadalajara, um, decided to use the tool that Libria talked about in her session. And she already had people hollering at her. Like the summit ended on Monday, okay? She already had people requesting to speak with, to interview her for jobs,
About
which she's not sure she's
22.
going to take. Kira, if you're here, girl, do what you need to do. If you don't want to work, if you don't want to work that go back to that kind of work again, you have permission. You have given yourself already permission to not go back to that kind of work. But if you can find something between Libria session and team session, if you can negotiate exactly what you need, we support you whichever direction you go. Okay, thank you. Okay, Teresa.
That was yeah. And I was like, when she said, I think she had maybe 22 responses. Like it was double digits. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take that and work with it.
Mhm.
And then with Krishan, of course, I love her. We all do. We follow her. But the statement I took from her is, I am no longer living by default.
Yes.
And I, you know, I say I'm designing and creating my life. And when I revisited my journal, what I realized is, yes, I kind of design it, but I don't really execute on it, not on every aspect that I need to. And
That's
that's what I took away from this summit
right.
is my word is execution
Okay.
to freedom. So I would say my term is execution, but for me, I needed to really identify that a bit more. So right now during this process, my next steps is I'm identifying what does that freedom of time look for me right now. I
Right.
know what my long term is, but
Right.
right now, my freedom money, location for now, so I can start with my smaller steps because small steps get you to the big steps. And I think Tabitha Brown said that with them little tab
Yeah.
notes.
Uh,
Tab said something about taking those small steps.
uh-huh.
Taking any small step forward is still movement.
Yes, it is.
I'm like,
Mhm.
baby. And then
Yeah.
of course, Krishan said, open the aperture. I was like, okay, that's new. I had to start by that. So I'm opening my aperture
Uh-huh.
every
That's
day, just a
right.
little bit wider. It was just so good. I'm sorry, I'm just going on and on. So you see, I get so excited about everything that was said and done because it was so confirming
That's right.
and just yeah. And
That's
then Marissa and Angela, I'm in the leadership space of a foundation in emotional intelligence and emotional awareness. So to
Oh,
hear Angela speak and then Marissa, I've followed her channel and I've been watching that. She has such good information and
yeah.
guidance.
Yes, yes.
Mm,
Marissa is a younger. She would be like a baby sister, but man, does she come
yeah.
through? She knows how to put things together and present them to you on the internet, which is a special skill. Yeah. Hi, Marie.
Yes. And such a baby sister, but such a wealth of knowledge. Because
That's
that's what
right.
I was thinking. Like,
Mhm.
if I had known this when I was younger,
Mm.
good Lord Almighty, what would have happened? I love seeing younger people as well.
Yes. Well, we're still
Um,
younger. Monica just
yeah,
called us younger. Okay, to receive it.
and I take it. And when she said, I'm like, I received that. I'm a baby.
Yes.
And then with Dr. Joy Harton Bradford, therapy for Black girls,
Mhm.
I love her. Her statement that's on my wall: we serve as possibility models.
Yes.
We serve as possibility models.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
mean, when you really just let this stuff resonate in your soul and think about those words, that even where we are, although I'm not where I want to be, where
Yes.
I am right now, just this process, I'm a possibility model for somebody.
That's right.
I've had a couple of friends who start thinking differently. So then I start saying, oh, I'm a possibility model.
Yes. That's
So
right.
yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Then Coach Tish going through her flow method. I feel like actually my son walked in and he thought I was listening to a sermon. So, sometimes I'll play an old sermon because I was like, yes, preach, pass that offering plate.
Mhm. Yes, Coach
Okay,
Tish.
well, I don't want to take all the time going through
No,
everything. So,
we're just talking. We're just talking. Yeah, Coach Tish. She's another one who just laid down the hammer from the very beginning, right? Some of the women eased us in with some deep breaths. Coach Tish was like, "Here's what I came to say."
and she said it. Oh,
Yes, she did.
yeah.
We got it.
So,
We heard her. Yes, we heard her.
yes, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So okay.
Um,
So the summit sessions individually really spoke to you, and as a whole, you said that they are helping you execute your way to freedom. Execute your way to freedom. Did you get a chance to meet up with some women? Did you go to one of the accountability groups?
I did not go to an accountability group. I wanted to go to the slow travel one because I think that's something that I'm more interested in.
Uh-huh.
But I'm gonna be honest with you. I was triggered last year with those accountability groups. It's too many people.
A lot of people.
So my plan is I want to wait until I see them
Yeah.
post in our group, and then I want to join that slow travel one, which I heard you mention earlier.
Yeah.
So that's the one I'm interested in.
Okay.
So I took that time to really rest
Okay. Good.
and during the summit, just lay down and rest and reflect. So I
Good.
didn't join one during the summit, but I do have my eye on that one, the slow travel one.
Good. Yeah. Yeah. The slow travel, the larger group will hopefully will form into smaller groups. It's really hard to have 80 accountability partners, okay? But you could have
Right.
eight or four or two or one, right? So hopefully,
Mhm.
some women will form smaller groups, even if they stay part of the bigger group, right? We'll also form smaller
Yes.
groups where y'all can. It's I wouldn't when I saw that there was 84 women in there, I was like, I would never. I don't know if you could see before you went in the room how many were in there, but I wouldn't have even clicked on the button. That's just me, right? It's a lot. But what you know then is that there are quite a few women inside of the Exodus
Mhm.
Summit community who are interested in slow travel. And when you're ready for an accountability partner, all you're going to have to do is raise your hand. Who wants to be my accountability buddy, right? What the 84, what that number tells you is that there's a lot. There's a lot.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's going to be
And
easy
I'm
to
talking
find.
from yours. I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt you.
No,
I
no, I'm
think we
done.
have a little lag. From your session on the luxury or a budget baddie, I really enjoyed that. I had just talked about it with my friend when we were on our trip, and we were trying to make this definition between, traveling and vacationing.
Right.
And so in that, it came out of, luxury or baddie. And I was like, or a budget. And what I realized is that sometimes I'm really in a luxury spirit. I want the luxury. And it's okay that there are other times when your girl has to be on a budget with a capital B.
Uh-huh.
So what I realized is, and after hearing your talk is, I ebb and flow between them, and that's okay
Yes,
because I
both
can choose
and.
what I want for me. Yes,
Both
both
and.
and. That's another one.
Yes,
Yes,
both and. We do it
both
all. That's
and.
right. And you can do luxury stuff without spending luxury money. Yeah. Both and. Listen, I'm in a hotel right now with a butler. I'm gonna tell y'all, okay? My vacation included me going to a hotel and getting a suite where they would give me a butler. But this same hotel is 1/7 the price that it would have cost me in a different city.
Mm.
Budget and luxury, right?
See,
It would have cost me
luxury,
7 times as much
luxury.
in Amsterdam. The same suite in Amsterdam, 7 times what it cost me here in Panama City. All right, we could do both and
Wow,
luxury me.
both and. The last two things I took away were
Okay.
from Tabitha Brown,
Mm,
and they were that freedom and conformity can't coexist. I'm like, wow. So when I am conforming sometimes, I ain't free.
not free.
And there was just so many gems that were dropped that can just take you into this thought process of really identifying what you want, how you want it, and where you are right now.
That's right.
And that's where it starts. You got to identify where you are to know where you're going.
That's right.
And
That-
then the last thing,
mhm.
I put this in a group chat at work. It didn't go over too well, but I don't care. I tell somebody, and they were not a black person, so I'm not obligated because I'm a whole free black woman. So I'm not obligated to do that. They were trying to get me to do something that is their role. So I'm not obligated to do that because I'm a whole free black woman.
Yeah, Teresa,
Boom.
you might need to look
I
for another remote job, friend. Okay.
I should have went back to work right after this. I should have took a couple of days
You
off.
needed you needed a couple more days.
So I wanted to tell them Tab said it, and I believe it.
Hmm. Well, white people love Tabitha Brown as well, so maybe they may have heard her say that before. Girl, you needed a little bit more time. Yeah, yeah. All right. So I'm glad to hear that this wasn't just entertainment. It wasn't a weekend of entertainment. This is
Mm-mm.
a weekend of transformation. I love it.
Yes, it
Uh,
was. It was.
yeah,
But thank you for inviting us. I appreciate it. I'm glad to share with everyone who maybe wasn't able to attend. Get
yeah.
the replays.
Get the
Get
replay.
the replays.
Get the replays. My pleasure. Thank you for saying yes. Thank you for showing up here on the channel. Always looking so cute. And also, thank you for being part of the Patreon community. Thank you so much for that, sincerely. This Patreon community is putting into action uh, what we say we're about, right? We're not just like talking and talking. We're putting things into action. So thank you for that. We've set women on retreat, on sabbatical, on whatever the next thing is that we'll do. So I really appreciate you being a part of the community, for giving, and also for being here and making progress towards your own, right? Not just focusing on what you do
All
for
right.
someone, doing for you as well. Are we gonna
Thank you
see
so
you?
much.
Are we gonna see you again in Cape Town?
Yes, I'm
Okay.
there.
Okay.
I am there.
Good.
All right. Thank you. Bye
You're welcome.
bye.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Thank you. Okay, friends. All right. So, yeah, let me tell you a little bit about this hotel room. I'm telling you, I'm paying Marriott prices. I'm not paying luxury hotel with the butler prices. I'm paying not much more than I paid to stay in the Newark Marriott in Newark, New Jersey. Okay? But this budget baddie is doing some luxury lifestyle things. This hotel has a sleep menu. And when I'm ready to go to sleep, I can pick something off of the menu included, and they will come and mist my room with lavender if I want, or whatever. I don't know. It says room mist, something, something, lavender and something. They will draw my bath. There's an actual bathtub in here. They will draw my bath for me. Um, I can't tell you the other thing that they did for me that was pretty surprising, because we're meeting up. There's a meetup. I might tell you. So the Exodus Summit meetup here in Panama City is tomorrow, and I called the butler And I said, 16 of us are getting together for dinner. Can you get us reservations? Right? Luxury, right? He was like, there when I checked in, there was champagne in the suite. I'm not in the bedroom part, but there's a suites part, right? There was champagne in the suite, and he was like, "Yeah, push this button when you're ready for me to come and open your champagne." So I don't know how much I can tell. So a certain person came over. A certain person. Let me spill the beans. A certain person, people came over, and I pushed the button, and I was like, "Can you come and open our champagne?" Actually, I pushed the button. At first, I called, and then I went to WhatsApp because they WhatsApp me every few hours. What can we do for you? So I WhatsApped, and he came up, and he was like, "Oh, your champagne's not cold. Let me go and replace it." A certain person was like, "Yes, replace our champagne, please. We want cold champagne." We want cold. We want our champagne ice cold, chilled, please. So I'm in Panama City, Panama. If I stayed in this hotel, seriously, I looked it up once I got here, and I was like, because I complain about the lack of hospitality in the hospitality industry. And once I got here, seriously, I had been here for about 5 minutes, and I was like, where else is this exact brand of this exact chain of hotel? And I looked up another location. It was Amsterdam, and it was 7 times the price. Okay. So this Panama City location is budget baddie and luxury on the same lady of luxury and budget baddie in the same trip. Right? Yes. There's a sleep menu. There's other things, right? There's the I didn't get past the miss because I was like, do I want it? Do I not want it? But there's a menu of things for when I'm ready to go to sleep. Right? There's a bath menu. They'll come and draw the bath. Most of it, some things are included and some things are for an extra charge. So they'll draw the bath with certain bath salts included. But if I want something, then that's an extra charge, right? Yeah, I'm like, let's do some luxury stuff. Yes, I built a platform talking about house sitting, but we also get service. We get luxury. We get treatment. We get that. I think that Black women should all experience that, right? From the door, from before I got through the door until I leave here. I'm going to use the luxury. I'm a person who, before, I used to hate when room service would bring my food to the room. I would hate it. I hated having people. No, don't come in. Just hand me the thing at the door. I'll do it. Seriously. Many a time I've ordered room service and been like, just I'll will. I don't want you coming in. Right? I'm like, no. Let me get some luxury. Right? Treat me like you treat them. Listen, I can't. I'm gonna tell it. Okay, Rashida said the other day, tell a piece of this. I was like, I think you know. I can't tell a piece of it. I don't. I think you know that. I'm gonna tell everything, and I believe you know that. Right? Located Cozy said, I just had to pull over so I could bust out laughing freely. Be careful. Be careful. Be careful. Right? So, yeah, like it feels really nice to do it. I also consider myself a possibility model. I've said that many a time, right? Some of what I do is modeling it so you can do it, right? That's a big part of my YouTube channel, right? A big reason that I do some things on my YouTube channel the way I do them is just so you can do it, right? I believe in possibility modeling. Even before I had the language for it, that was Dr. Joy, right? Dr. Joy. Even before Dr. Joy gave me the language for it, Rashida and I, Exodus Summit is about us being possibility models, right? A good part of what we do is about that. I believe in it. I believe in it. It's Roxanne. It's Roxanne and Mary Goff. I'm going to tell. It's Roxanne and Mary Goff. Calm down, Tisha. Calm down. Yeah, she was like, yo, we want the chilled champagne. He was like, yes, ma'am, I'll be right back. They do a little French here because the hotel chain is a French chain. So sometimes they call us Madame. I'll be right back. Right? Yes, I do. I want that. Treat me like you treat them. or better. I think sometimes I feel like I'm getting better treatment because people love to see Black women happy. The people who like Black women, right? Who like Black women in everyday life. They love to see Black women enjoying ourselves. I think I might get a little extra kindness, a little extra care, a little extra attention, a little extra nice treatment. I think so. I think so. Right? So we're down here doing it. Okay. We need budget baddie t-shirts. We have merch over at exodussummit.com/expo. Clarice, thank you. Mokumazel, Mokumazel, thank you very much for making our merch. We have some merch, but we probably had 5 or 6 different requests for different things. Uh, we don't have it. Okay, we don't have it yet, but maybe it'll come through. Maybe we'll come through with it. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Erica. Hey, Erica Gennaro TV. Erica says, I've always wanted a butler and a chef. Yeah, right? Like, deserve, right? We deserve. If they get it, we get it. We need to use it. So this is another thing, right? Not just me having access to them, just like with the community, just like I said earlier. Now, it's not only about me having access to them, it's me utilizing them, right? Let them support me. I'm tired. I know I look cute. Okay, I know I look good. I'm tired. Even if the summit planning didn't take any effort, which it does, the actual running of a summit, interviewing people all day, every day for hours and hours and being on that alone that requires time. Just after one YouTube video where I just talk to myself, I got to take a nap. I take a nap after my live streams, right? So imagine what it's like for 3.5 days to be talking and interviewing, because I'm not just on the screen, you have to ask questions and communicate and talk, and right. Also, I think I'm hilarious, so I got to make some jokes and stuff. It really mentally wipes you out. Give me some hospitality and let me use it. I want to use it. Okay. So I'm not wheeling the room service cart in here. I promise you, I'm not doing that anymore. Yes, come set up my room service for me. Set it up for me. That's the thing I've done. Years ago, I had a boyfriend who traveled for work, and I went with him. And every time the room service came, I would just hide in the bathroom because I couldn't stand them being in the room with me. But now, listen, you do that. You do your part, right? You do your part. I'm not doing your job too. I'll share it after I leave. Lisa James done told me to stop sharing information on the internet. And then Joan came in my Instagram live the other day and was like, stop telling people where you are. So as soon as I leave, I'll share it. Yeah, Lisa's session was on safety, right? Safety. So Lisa would not want me to tell YouTube where. She would be okay with me telling you where I am, but this is on YouTube. She would not be okay with me telling YouTube where I am. Cinderella says, I never treat myself. It's a muscle. It's a muscle that you have to work. It's hard in the beginning. I believe that. It's hard in the beginning for some of us. Now, not all of us are Taurus, okay? Taurus and Leos, okay? Not all of us are that. But for some of us, it's just a muscle, and you practice. You try it, and you do it again and again, and next thing you know, you're like, oh, look at that. Strong, right? Strong. Work it. Work that muscle. When you recognize there's something that you're not doing to treat yourself with kindness, right? To treat yourself with generosity, to live like abundance. A couple years ago, my theme was I want to feel like abundance. I want to feel like abundance. I feel like abundance. If you're not living that out, you can work on it, right? Make a list. Octavia Rahim's session. Make a list of the things that restore you or that would restore you if you would do them. And then do something every day. Every day. Yeah. Kat, thank you. Kat's got me. I'll tell you after I leave. I'll tell you after I leave. Yeah, this is on YouTube. Not yet, Mary. Because I worked out the other day, I was like, well, I get, because that's the thing. I was like, I think I can run my own bath. I don't need him to run the bath. Mary was like, no, he's coming to run your bath. Not today, not yet, but I think maybe because I got to figure it out. I think I want it in the evening so I can look out the window at the city. There's a little city view. Yes. So maybe if I work out, it'll be perfect timing if I do a workout today or tomorrow. Not yet, but the answer is not yet. Not yet. Yes, luxuriate. 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 Francis, I just paid $35 for my Airbnb in Antigua. That was my budget. I'm looking to be a luxury lifestyle. Yeah, we can do luxury things on a budget. One of the things I talked about in my session, which I'll share with you here, but you should go watch there, is resort passes, right? Some resorts, you can get a day pass to a resort. Get some of that poolside service for yourself without paying to stay in the hotel. Pay for the resort pass. Don't pay to stay in the hotel. Get some of that service. If there's a hotel in a place that has a reputation for exceptional service, get yours. Get yours. Yes. All right. Yeah. So, before I leave, I have enough days here that I want. Yeah, one of these days, one of the days that I'm here, I will have him do it. Uh-huh. Sleep menu. He said, there's just a sleep menu. They come, they show you the room, whatever. And I was like, I'm not going to pay it. I'm not opening that. Right? I like this place. I got a good deal on this room, but this is not a cheap place. I'm not opening that. And he was like, the items with no prices are included. I was like, oh, let me open it. Let me open it. I have to play me to sleep. I don't know. We're ready for luxury. We deserve luxury. We work luxury into our lives now. Yeah, all of the things what I know about living, right? What I know is the things that you want in the future, you work out how do you live them now. Because you can wait until you think that you're ready for them in the future, but then that muscle has atrophied or worse, and you can't use it. You can't do it. If you want to do it then, you have to do it now. That's one thing I do know, right? It's why the Exodus Summit Patreon, the Vacarians Patreon community exists. Because I want to be a giver, a philanthropist then. But if I'm not doing it then, when I have more money, if I'm not doing it now, I'm not going to do it then when I have more money, right? Now it requires me to pull in some things with y'all. We got to go on this together. Right now, to send a woman on sabbatical, we got to go in on it together. But in the future, I wouldn't do it if I had more money and more resources and more ability to do it, because I wouldn't have the muscle. If you see yourself treating yourself amazingly well at some point, because of retirement, because of you've married a rich sucker, because of something, you have to start those things now. Not only luxury things, anything, right? Anything. Start them now. Find out how can you incorporate that now. That's one thing I do know in my 49 years. Start it now, because you could be there then. You could have every penny that you dreamed would be your financial freedom number, and you would refuse to use it because the muscle is atrophied. So we start now. Whatever it is, start it now. How can I do this now? May look different, right? I'm in Panama and not Amsterdam or Fiji. I'm not in Fiji, right? I can't imagine what this would cost in Fiji. Okay, I'm not in Fiji. I'm in a place where I could afford to do it now. My flight was less than an hour from Costa Rica. Where can I do it now so that I have the muscle to do it later? I think so. JR, thank you. JR says you deserve luxury after the hard work of the summit. I'm just going to say we put a period after the third word, right? We deserve luxury, period. It shouldn't take hard work and exhaustion to treat yourself with kindness. And grace shouldn't take exhaustion to let others do for you. All of us. I'm learning this too. I'm a student, right? I have a YouTube channel, but that doesn't mean I'm the master at this thing. I'm a student. We deserve luxury, period. Whatever that means for you. And you don't have to work yourself to exhaustion to do it, to get it, to use it, to access it. Find it. Find it in the little ways. Listen, I'm not kidding when I tell you that vanilla extract is part of my luxury practice. Y'all, okay, some of you right now are rolling your eyes because you're so sick of hearing me talk about vanilla extract, but I enjoy vanilla extract. I enjoy it in my coffee. There was a time when it was so expensive that I had to use it sparingly, right? One coffee every couple weeks, I could put vanilla extract in. Even though I drank coffee every night, used to work night shift. I drank coffee every night, but I couldn't afford to put vanilla extract in my coffee every day, right? Had to siphon it off. Vanilla extract is a luxury in my life, and I dive in. It's not the most expensive luxury thing that I do, but I think it's a luxury. And it's in the small things, the things that we do every day. Octavia Rahim talked about us doing the things that restore us every day. If you're here, you need to do something to restore yourself. That's every day. Yeah, I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready. Right? Okay. Yeah, so we do these things for ourselves. And these are things that we learned in Exodus Summit 2023. We didn't learn how to use vanilla extract in Exodus Summit 2023, but we learned how to get clear on what our freedom looks like. Your freedom. I can't prescribe what freedom would look like for you. Some of you would hate the things that I want, right? Or I've already had them and hated them, right? Some of the things that look like freedom for you don't look like freedom for me. But in this summit, we learned how to set aside time, how to get our freedom picture, and then how to move towards it every day, every day, every day. A practice. Almost every speaker talked about how to make things a practice, right? All the time, every day, not just once in a while. Nene, no, I haven't done any spa services yet. No massage yet. I probably will. I will. I just am waiting for the weekend to be over for everybody to leave the hotel. I checked in on Wednesday and I felt like I was the only person here. And then by Thursday night, everybody was here. Or like, well, y'all leave my hotel. Will y'all leave my hotel, please? So from Monday to I have Monday to Friday again, I think, Monday to Friday. So I have time to get some services, right? Get a massage. I'd like a pedicure, but I think I may just go to one of the ladies out here for a pedicure. We'll see. Get more time in the pool, do some floating in the pool. You see my hair looks cute. It's not going to look cute for long because I'll be spending some more time in the pool. Yeah, I'm going to do these things. Me posting that pic of the lay down girl gave me permission. Yes, lay down. Lay down. Lay down. So Octavia Rahim talked about building a rest nest, and I never really thought about that because as a person who takes naps, I just nap in the bed. But I've kind of converted my bed I've done the worst thing possible, and my bed also is kind of a workspace. I do a lot of laptop work in the bed. Stupid. Wrong. So getting in the bed for me used to signal going to sleep. Now getting in the bed for me signals, oh, maybe I'll do some work for a couple hours. Or maybe I'll stare at the laptop and pretend to do some work for a couple hours. Wrong direction. I'm going in the wrong direction. So Octavia Rahim talking about building a rest nest was really helpful for me. Build a place where the only thing you do here is rest. You don't do nothing else. Yeah. Jay says, I worked at the Ritz-Carlton before, and even we were told that to give luxury, we had to experience luxury, and we were encouraged to do so. That's the thing that I wondered. So it seemed like the people here use this hotel. You know what I mean? Like, you ever check in a place and you feel like they resent you for being there? The people in this hotel seem like they have used these services. I don't know how to explain that, right? Use this, it's wonderful. Right? I don't feel like when I ring that bell, push that, it's a button. I don't feel like when I push that button for him to come and draw my bath that he's gonna be like, what? You know what I mean? He's gonna be like, this is amazing. You should do this, right? Same with the champagne. There was no like, ugh, right? Possibility model, yeah. I think we've set Exodus Summit up like that from the beginning. The way that we share, the way that Rashida and I share ourselves inside of Exodus Summit, a lot of that is about modeling the possibilities, right? We don't share our travel, so you can be like, oh, must be nice, because we're not a must be nice kind of community. We're a give me the name of that hotel kind of community. With where you say, right? Where you at now again? Right? We're that kind of community. And that possibility modeling has been something that is foundational to this Exodus Summit experience. And y'all, but we're not the only ones who model it. You do too, right? You do too. The thing that Rashida told me to tell y'all about, that I was like, if I tell it, I'm gonna tell everything. I can't even talk about it. Okay. That thing, someone showed her that it was possible. We're doing a thing together later next year. And it's a thing that she had like on her list, bucket list, but that she assumed was out of reach. And then she saw someone else who shares her travels on the internet talking about that experience. And she was like, oh, maybe it is within reach. Let's figure it out, right? Possibility modeling. We need community with people who are going in the direction we want to go, even if they're a few steps ahead. I believe in that. I believe in it. Oh, Diamond says the Rio in Panama City did not perform close to this standard. Listen, come back. Come back. Come back. We'll do it again. I think I might if I'll be living in Costa Rica for the next 3 or 4 years of my life. I think this is going to be in my regular rotation. And I thought that, like, after having been here for 5 minutes, it was that much of a different hospitality experience. Because I have hospitality complaints. Ain't no hospitality in the hospitality industry, but this has been wonderful. Yeah, the butler. I didn't plan a meetup. Okay, so we have 30 women who say they're coming, but I assume it's probably closer to 16 because some of y'all please did not go back in and un-RSVP once you changed your plans. If there's more than 16 that show up, I think it'll be okay. But the butler made reservations for 16. And so I'm going to go. I didn't post it in the group though. I need to go into the community, into the Facebook group, into the event, and share where and when. It's 12:30, not 12 o'clock, in case you're here. It's at 12:30, not at 12 o'clock. And I'll do that inside of the community as soon as we end the live stream, so you'll know where to meet us tomorrow, which is Sunday the 15th, 12:30, our Panama City, Panama time. Yeah. Listen, I sent a WhatsApp, so you can communicate with him. You can pick up the phone, you can WhatsApp, or you can push the button. But because I needed to explain some things, I WhatsApped him. It probably took him 10 minutes. My phone, my battery. Yeah. I was going to show you the WhatsApp message because he said after he does something, he sends me a little sticker of a butler. It's the cutest little sticker. If I say, can you do XYZ, then he'll be like, sure thing. And then he'll send me a little butler sticker on WhatsApp. Yeah, I was like, 16 people, Sunday, 12 noon. He replied, he was like, how's 12:30 at this restaurant? Yes, thank you. Roxanne told me to do that, talking about possibility models. Roxanne told me to do that. I wouldn't have done that. I don't think. Roxanne, I would have called a couple places, got a couple of no's, and then my plan was, y'all, I'll make a reservation for 8, somebody else make a reservation for 8, and somebody else make a reservation for 8, right? At the same time. And if that didn't work, just meet me at the mall food court. Seriously, my plan B was mall food court. That is how much I do not want to plan a meetup. Roxanne was like, you have a butler. He will get you a reservation. Okay? Oh, Rashida says, I was in the St. Regis, like, no, I don't need anything. It's a muscle. Listen, I'm doing it for you. I'm using my services for you. Francis, they sprayed and wiped her sunglasses in the Philippines. Use it. Yes, I do. If you do it for them, you do it for me. Yes, indeed. Okay. All right. So, Exodus Summit 2023 delivered on its promise of helping you move toward location freedom, financial freedom, and time freedom as a Black woman. Okay. But it did it in some surprising ways. Yes, it gave you concrete steps, but I think the speakers also came in and gave you a new mindset, a new way to approach these things. I think that's what they did for me. And that's what I'm hearing that they did for you based on your replies, your comments. If you missed the summit live, it was all online, but if you missed the online summit, go to exodussummit.com, get your replays. You're still watching in community with us because you see in the chat women talking about they'll be watching the replays, right? Whenever you go and watch the replays over the next year, somebody is going to be watching them with you, right? Right now, 2 women from Exodus Summit are walking the Camino de Santiago in Spain and Portugal separately. They're separate, but they're doing it. Adrian from Chicago and Kia from Philly are both in Portugal walking the Camino de Santiago, which is a long walk. It's days and days and days and days and days of walking. Okay. But here in the US, people are walking in solidarity with them. I've done a little bit. So Kia did a 30-day walking challenge before she went there. So, because I couldn't get up and walk during the summit. I didn't have that energy. But people are walking in solidarity with them, right? I hope you can feel this. I'm with you. I support you. I know you're doing a hard thing, and I support you. Same with watching these summit sessions. Somebody is watching it with you. When you go to the replay, somebody is watching it with you, in solidarity with you, listening with you, supporting you. I think I may make a whole video about this. The experience, the impact of having 1,600 Black women laying down and resting at the same time. Octavia Rahim's first session, we had 1,600 women registered for Exodus Summit, plus our team, plus our moms. So 1,607 women registered for the summit. 1,600 Black women laying down at the same time. Resting at the same time. Breathing at the same time. Breathing deeply. Exhaling, sighing loudly, deeply at the same time. I think there was a shift. And I think that's what kicked it off. I want to talk about that a little more later with somebody. What did that do for Black women, for the collective of Black women? That collective rest, what did that do for us? Anytime you watch the replay, know somebody is there with you at the same time, in solidarity with you, breathing deeply, resting, or whichever session you're on. Know somebody is there with you. Watch your replays. Go to exodussummit.com and watch the replays. Somebody's going to be watching it with you. Okay? Amina says, I just watched the replay of the generational trauma and healing session. So deep. Looking forward to getting her book. Yes, her book is coming out in the winter, this winter. Yes. In the email, Rashida and I sent you the Exodus Summit 2023 reading list. So with an email that we just sent out this morning. So if you got an email from Exodus Summit this morning, you have our reading list. If you didn't get the reading list, it's because you're not getting our newsletter, and you should, which is at exodussummit.com/newsletter. We just sent out our, excuse me, the reading list, the speakers' books from this year. And you'll want that. You'll want that. So, Sister Camila, yes, you can purchase the replays at exodussummit.com. Yes. RW, I would love to do that walk in Portugal next year. I can work on getting in shape. Yeah, these are two women who don't know each other, as far as I know, and didn't know that they were going to be there together, as far as I know, or at the same time, and they're not in the same places. I don't really understand the Camino de Santiago. I think it crosses into Portugal. I don't really know. Listen, well, I'll talk to him later. Kia, let's see. Kia told us about it here on this channel, but I can't remember which video we would have talked to Kia during. It wasn't she's not over 60, so it wasn't the over 60 video. One of the videos where I send the Patreon every quarter. Every quarter, I send the Patreon community a link and say, join me live, like today, right? It's a thing that's part of the Patreon benefit. It's really the only, the only benefit that I give you as being part of the Patreon community is every quarter you get a link to come onto my YouTube channel and talk about whatever we're talking about that day. Sometimes house sitting, sometimes summit stuff, sometimes just advice, right? Just talk, just ask a question. And I think Kia may have been in the last Patreon video, because I know it was a video where we just talked to women briefly. And during that video, she mentioned doing the Camino de Santiago in October. And then I just opened up Instagram a few days before the summit, and Adrian is too. And I'm like, oh, okay, Exodus Summit women out here doing it. So we have two women walking that Camino, you know, for spiritual purposes or for health purposes or for adventure purposes or all of the above, to test themselves, all of the above. And they're out here doing it. Kia reruns. Let me see. I don't have my Instagram. Let me look on Instagram real quick. I'll put their two links here. If they're already finished, I apologize for not telling you about this last weekend. Because I think, no, we didn't go live. Oh, we were in the summit. No apologies necessary. Kia. All right, so here's Kia's link. You can see her Camino videos. Exit. I'm in the wrong place here. Okay, so here's Kia. And then Adrian. I think Adrian's is public. I know Kia's is public. Adrian Danielle. Copy. Yes, I'm pretty sure it's public because some of you are already following her, I think. I know Adrian from the real world. But okay, so those are two Black women from the Exodus Summit community right now who are doing a hard new thing. And so that's them. Okay, so you can follow them on Instagram if you want to follow along with their adventures. I don't know how many more days they have left, okay? I don't know how many more days. But you can join in, or you can start watching their videos from the beginning, right? Do what you want. Okay, all right. So it's almost 11, so it's been a while, 2 hours. Okay. So thank you to all of you who joined in to tell us about your Exodus Summit experiences. Thank you for that. Thank you to my Patreon community in general. Thank you. I know, okay, so this is probably the 15th time that I've said that we're going to get together and pick our next Patreon money recipient. I think we're over $8,000 or $9,000 already, and we're supposed to do a push before the end of the year, which may still happen. We'll do a push before the end of the year, and we'll get some money out to our next person, our next Black woman. So keep your ears on, and someday soon, I'll tell you when we're going to get together and we're going to work on that. So thank you very much for being part of the Patreon community. That's not the link I thought I was putting on the screen. But yes, watch the replays of Exodus Summit at exodussummit.com. Register and watch the replays. I'm looking for my Patreon link. Patre. Here. Become a patron at patreon.com/vicarious. Okay? If you want to join in on sending a Black woman on sabbatical or on retreats, join us. The Patreon is not about you spending behind the scene time with me. Okay? I'm hardly involved. The Patreon community is about y'all getting to know each other. The Patreon community does co-working sessions. There's also a book club inside of there, I believe. Um, but that's time for you to get to hang out with other Black women or not. Seriously, you can just join the Patreon because you want $3 a month or $10 a month to come out of your account and into the sabbatical fund. That's fine, right? That's kind of how I treat it, right? It's just sabbatical money. But you can be as involved or as uninvolved as you want inside of the Patreon community. We're at 115 patrons, I think, 115 women who contribute every month towards the Vicarian Sabbatical Fund so that we can continue to send women on sabbatical, on retreat, on whatever we choose, right? Okay? So thank you very much for those of you who are patrons, for those of you who are becoming patrons, those of you who were patrons in the past. Thank you. I appreciate you so much. Now that it's been a while, we should have Maisha Francis on to talk about her sabbatical. I wanted to give her time. I didn't want her to feel like she had to come and work for the money. Okay. But now that it's been a while, maybe we'll invite her over so we can hear about what her sabbatical was and how we contributed to that, because we contributed to that. And Lisa, who's here a lot, has thanked us many, many times for sending her on Reclaim the Retreat back in March with Adelia and Ivana in El Salvador. But thank you again. Thank you for being a member of the Patreon community, those of you who are. Thank you for attending Exodus Summit 2023. Thank you for that. You were an amazing group of people. So we had technical problems on the first day and the second day, and it could have really derailed things. Instead, y'all were like, okay. You've been telling us for a month that we're going to watch our sessions here. Now at the last minute, you're telling us switch it up. We got to watch our sessions here. Okay. So thank you very much for that. What could have been a disaster was pretty flowy. There was a lot of flow. So thank you for that. Another benefit of working with Black women only. Other communities would not have been so gracious to us. So thank you for that. Thank you to all of the speakers. We ended our welcome session. We didn't get to do our welcome session because of the technical problems. And then we ended our graduation. We did a graduation at the end, a wrap up. We ended our graduation without thanking the speakers informally. So thank you to all of our speakers from Exodus Summit 2023. Thank you for saying yes when you could have said no. And more importantly, thank you for delivering. I hope that you speakers go into the community, into the Exodus Summit Facebook community, and see and feel what you've done for Black women. And maybe over on Instagram too. The Exodus Summit Instagram is Exodus Summit. I hope that you take some time and see and hear and feel the response to what you've done. We're not exaggerating when we say you have given Black women the tools to their freedom, their liberation, their peace of mind, their joy. So thank you. Sincerely, thank you, thank you, thank you. And hopefully we'll see you again. And then to every administrative helping person who we had in the summit this year. Thank you, friends. Thank you, Francis. Thank you, Amina. Thank you, Clarice. Thank you, Nirel. Thank you, Raven. Thank you, friends, for being so helpful. Okay? So we're wiped out with the, you want me to block him? We're wiped out with, hold on, give me a second. I see y'all in the chat. I'll block him. Oh, wait, it's scrolling. We're wiped out with with a support team, with help. I can't imagine. I can't imagine what it would be like without. So thank you all for being a wonderful part of this team and for helping us make something transformational, make something amazing. Thank you very much for being a part of that. Thank you. Okay, I got rid of them. I saw y'all's comments. I had scrolled down. Thank you. All right, so thank you for that. We did something amazing. This was the 4th year. So Exodus Summit, I think it's safe to say that there will be an Exodus Summit next year. And it's because you, friends, came away with something. It did something for you. We wouldn't keep doing Exodus Summit if y'all didn't get something out of it and put it to use, right? But you get something out of it and you put it to use. Thank you for that. So it's worth doing it again. It's worth doing it again. We love seeing your updates. We love seeing your progress. We love seeing even your questions and your follow-up. We love that. So thank you for that. And it'll happen again, I'm pretty sure. Okay, if you're not inside the Exodus Summit Facebook community already, get there because book clubs are sprouting up and accountability groups are forming and meetup and event groups are already happening and taking place and will continue. That's how you'll find things out. So if you heard me say that I'm meeting up with women here in Panama City and you're like, well, I would have flown down if I had known, you need to be inside of the Exodus Summit Facebook community. And then you need to make the events tab your friend. Check out events, see what's happening. The Cape Town meetup tickets. Cape Town has the actual tickets and things. It costs. The Cape Town meetup tickets are sold out. But if you heard us talking about Cape Town last weekend and you wish that you had a ticket, you need to be inside of the Exodus Summit Facebook community because when some women, which inevitably happens, I'm not hoping the wishing this for anyone, but inevitably someone's plans will have to change. Someone who has a ticket. And inside of the Exodus Summit Facebook community is where she'll be like, hey, who wants to buy my ticket? So that's where you do that inside of the Exodus Summit community, which is exodussummit.com/community. Okay? Cinderella says, I'm saving my money for next year, 5-year anniversary. Yeah. Next year. We're not listening. I don't know. The answer is right now about next year's Exodus Summit, or I don't know. But we do know it will happen. It'll happen. Abba says she has to check out the book clubs. Yes, there are book clubs forming, plural. I think a couple of different women have announced book clubs. And it can be you too. You don't have to wait for, if you want a book club with a specific theme or whatever, go ahead and there's a post inside the Exodus Summit community. Go ahead and announce your book club. Okay, that's how we do it. Just announce your book club. You don't need anybody's permission to start a book club. If you want to say this is the first book we're going to read because of the speakers or whatever, announce it. Announce your book club and have people underneath you tell you in the chat, in the community, in the comments underneath your comment, they'll tell you how to give you their contact information or whatever. So Francis made a post about book clubs inside of the community. You don't have to make a new post. Francis made a book club post inside of Exodus Summit. Go in there and in that post, tell us about your book club, right? That's all you have to do. That's all you have to do. You don't need anybody's permission to start a book club. Okay, good. All right, I think that's it. That's it for me. I have nap plans. Probably gonna take a nap and probably gonna go work out in the fitness center downstairs. Then I have dinner plans. So I think that's the end for me for the day. Okay, thank you so much for joining in. Thank you for participating. Don't forget to go to your email if you want to look at the reading list from Exodus Summit 2023. Open up your email. If you didn't get one, join the newsletter at exodussummit.com/newsletter, and I'll go ahead and resend that to those of you who are new later today or tomorrow. So women who watch this replay, hello, friends in the future. I hope it's amazing there. Go ahead and go to exodussummit.com/newsletter if you want to get on our newsletter list. And then I'll resend the reading list to those of you who didn't get it already. Okay. All right. Thanks for hanging out, friends. I'll see you guys again very soon. Some of you I'll see tomorrow at 12:30. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful weekend. Thank you so much for being so amazing. Thank you so much for getting what you got out of Exodus Summit. I'm glad. I can't wait to see it keep growing, keep going. I can't wait to see you keep making progress. Okay. Thanks, friends. Bye.